Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, exploring the intricacies of human civilization and the wonders that have shaped our world. Today, we find ourselves in the realm of New England, a land of storied history, where the whispers of the past converge with the tides of the present. In the early 16th century, the shores of New England were a vast and uncharted expanse, teeming with native tribes and untold riches. It was an era of discovery when European explorers, driven by curiosity and ambition, set forth to claim the unknown territories of the New World. Among them was Giovanni da Verrazzano, an Italian navigator who, in 1524, sailed along the coast of present-day North Carolina, Virginia, and New York, before arriving at the shores of Narragansett Bay, which he described as a beautiful and pleasant place. His voyage marked one of the earliest recorded European encounters with the Native American populations of the region. As we explore the precursors to the remarkable story that is New England, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex web of historical events and figures. The early 16th century saw an increase in European activity along the North American coastline, with explorers such as John Cabot and Henry Hudson charting the coastlines and establishing trade relationships with Native American tribes. In 1602, English explorer Bartholomew Gosnold landed on Cuttyhunk Island, off the coast of present-day Massachusetts, and established a short-lived settlement, which he named Elizabeth's Island. This early attempt at colonization marked the beginning of a new era in the region's history. The establishment of the Plymouth Company in 1606, which later became the Virginia Company, marked a significant milestone in the colonization of North America. Though initially focused on the region that is now Virginia, the company's charter granted it claim to a vast territory stretching from present-day North Carolina to New England. This led to an influx of English settlers and traders who began to establish temporary settlements and trading posts along the coast of New England. As we venture deeper into the early history of New England, we find ourselves in the midst of a dynamic and often tumultuous period. The Native American populations of the region, including the Wampanoag, Massachusetts, and Narragansett tribes, had lived in the area for thousands of years, developing complex societies and cultures that were shaped by the region's rich natural resources. The arrival of European settlers brought significant changes to these populations as they faced new challenges, conflicts, and opportunities. The early 17th century saw an increase in European activity along the New England coastline, with fishermen and traders establishing temporary settlements and trading posts. The seeds of change were sown in this period as European settlers began to establish permanent footholds on the continent. As the Industrial Revolution took hold in America, New England underwent a transformation of unprecedented proportions. The region's natural resources, including water power and timber, made it an ideal location for textile mills and other manufacturing facilities. Cities like Lowell, Massachusetts, and Manchester, New Hampshire, became hubs of industrial activity, with thousands of workers flocking to the area to work in the mills. The introduction of new technologies, such as the power loom and the spinning jenny, allowed for mass production and increased efficiency, cementing New England's position as a leader in the American textile industry. In 1790, Slater, who had learned the secrets of textile production while working in England, built the first successful cotton mill in the United States in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. This innovation sparked a wave of industrialization throughout the region, as other entrepreneurs followed in Slater's footsteps and established their own mills. As the 19th century progressed, New England continued to thrive, with its economy driven by a combination of industry, trade, and innovation. The construction of the Erie Canal in 1825, which connected the Great Lakes to the Hudson River, further solidified the region's position as a commercial hub, facilitating the transportation of goods between the East Coast and the Midwest. The period also saw significant cultural and intellectual developments, with New England becoming a hotbed of literary and artistic talent. The likes of Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, and Nathaniel Hawthorne, among others, made the region their home, drawing inspiration from its natural beauty and rich history. As Emerson once said, To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. This spirit of individualism and creativity continues to define New England to this day. As we explore the height of New England's influence and power during this period, we find ourselves in awe of the region's achievements. From its industrial prowess to its cultural and intellectual contributions, New England left an indelible mark on American history. And yet, as with all things, this era of prosperity was not without its challenges. The region faced significant social and economic changes, including the rise of immigration and the decline of traditional industries. The region has undergone significant transformations, driven by innovation, industry, and creativity. But as the 19th century drew to a close, New England stood poised on the brink of a new era, one that would bring its own set of challenges and opportunities. As the 20th century progressed, New England faced significant social and economic changes that would ultimately contribute to its decline. The rise of immigration from Southern and Eastern Europe brought new cultural and economic influences to the region, but also created tensions between old and new residents. The decline of traditional industries such as textiles and manufacturing led to widespread unemployment and economic dislocation. In 1912, the city was the site of the Bread and Roses strike, a landmark labor dispute that highlighted the struggles of immigrant workers in the textile industry. The strike, which was led by women and immigrants, resulted in improved working conditions and higher wages for thousands of workers. Despite these efforts, New England's economy continued to decline, and the region struggled to adapt to the changing economic landscape. The construction of the interstate highway system in the mid-20th century further accelerated the decline of traditional industries, as goods and services could be transported more efficiently and cheaply from other parts of the country. However, even as New England's economy declined, its cultural and intellectual heritage continued to thrive. The region remained a hub of artistic and literary talent, with writers such as John Cheever and Sylvia Plath drawing inspiration from its natural beauty and rich history. The establishment of institutions such as the Boston Symphony Orchestra and the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston further solidified New England's position as a center of cultural excellence. Today, New England is a region in transition, as it seeks to balance its rich history and cultural heritage with the demands of a rapidly changing world. From its picturesque towns and villages to its vibrant cities and urban landscapes, the region remains a unique and fascinating place, full of contradictions and paradoxes. From its earliest days as a colonial outpost to its current status as a thriving and diverse region, New England has played a significant role in shaping the course of American history. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the history of New England, and I hope that you will continue to explore and discover the many wonders and complexities of this captivating region. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.